Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's a beautiful day. Happy Saturday. So for you guys that are new tuning in, we do this every Saturday at 8 o'clock a.m. If you watched our previous videos, then you know they're pretty new at this. So we originally started out doing Thursdays at 6 p.m. and Saturdays in the morning, but we realized that Saturdays actually work better for our schedule. So if you're local in the Long Beach, Los Angeles area, we do meet up every Saturday at 8 o'clock a.m. We will be going live, so if you cannot make it here in person, join us live. Make sure you turn on your notifications so that you're notified every time we go live and you won't miss us. So what we got here is Babe is helping us out with the setup. Kyson is out here on his little pad, unbothered, completely unbothered. And as you guys can see, it's just super, super beautiful out here. So we're gonna go ahead and get us set up so we can get started. And I think this is what we're gonna.
I was over almost 300 pounds twice in my life. A person that does that twice in his life does not enjoy cardiovascular activity. Okay? So people can put anything they want to in their head. I did realize one thing. The things I don't enjoy that I still do, that's where growth is at.
You got jump rope here.
And that, for me, the only place growth is at.
You can even angle it a little bit to where. Angle it, baby.
Yeah, so I have
Here?
to visit every single day. So
When you say visit it every day,
Put it where?
you're doing daily to
Right there.
It's kind of like
So
right where I'm
for
at.
instance, today,
This way.
I thought you wanted it on this side.
No, I wanted the sun hitting us
I
here.
don't know where to run here.
See where the sun's at?
Very
So
You want me to put the camera over there or camera over here?
So someone said, hey,
No,
you
the
can
camera's
run
good,
around
just kinda
out
angle
here.
it.
Like,
Oh,
1 mile
angle
walk.
it. Yeah,
Like, you know what? I'm not
Like
doing that.
this.
Elliptical trainers.
I
But
don't
it's
like
not a
that because then you
normal
got that trash can back there.
It's
I said
more
angle it
like
here,
almost
like that.
self-power.
Because then you got the water, you got the little buildings back there and
I
stuff.
think you gotta go back though.
So I got on that
Well, let me
thing, and I
see.
realized, man, this shit sucks. And that's like 2 minutes. I don't want to do this.
I just got to angle it a little more.
Right then I realized, it looks like we're going to be here for a while. So I did that for 2 hours and 45 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah. So
You're gonna be out the
I'm
shot.
not saying
I
do
am.
that, but that's something I did today. Once my mind said, you know what, let's not do this.
Right here is fine.
I said, well, and since my mind went there, I redirected and said, just for having that weak thought, we're going to be on here for a while.
Right. So it does sort of sound like you're punishing part of your
Alright,
mind.
so Babe is gonna be our instructor today. Ooh, guess what?
What's up?
I want my mind to know who's
I
in
guess I
charge.
just keep it in my bag so I don't ever
So
forget it.
for the better part of 26 years, my mind was in charge of me.
All right, so you guys, what you normally are gonna need is a jump rope,
Once you take control of your
and some
mind,
resistant bands.
you start making
Jump rope.
decisions for yourself.
Because we start off jump roping just to get loose, warm up for about
Well,
5
there's
minutes.
something
That
I
gets the
did
blood
a long
flowing,
time ago.
gets the muscles loose, and then we just get right up into it. And we always
I was
do
able to
kind of
find
like a
strength in every
more up tempo,
molecule
high
of
intensity
the
workout.
I'm able to be in a room
We
with
get it done in
nothing, no
between
motivation, no inspiration,
30 and 40
nothing
minutes,
behind
not
it.
too long.
So what I did in
but
those
you burn a lot of
situations
calories in a
was
short amount of
different
time, so.
taking souls.
Glad you guys are
And
here.
everybody's
Let's
all
get it.
fucked up, and we're exhausted,
Give us a thumbs up if we
tired,
keep doing it.
looking around, and everybody looks as bad as you. Or even
We got the motivational stuff playing in the
I'm like, you know
background.
what? I want to now make a statement. It's the perfect time to make a statement. To make a statement to let you know where your life ends and mine begins. And so the statement there is, I muster up every bit of strength from their looks on their faces and how they feel and how I'm gonna now, from my childhood, where I came from, how I was the bottom of the barrel, I'm now amongst all these uncommon people. I'm now going to now make you feel like you're common. So I use their sadness, their weakness, their parts of their life. God, this sucks. I'm like all poopy pants and messed up. I use that for my strength. And I have this moment of like, let's say we're in the sand, we're running or whatever. I will do a surge. I will do something when everybody's like, how the fuck is he doing this? And from that look on their face, that feeling of, God, man, this guy must be something special. It then surges me further and further and faster and harder for a long time. So it's energy's everywhere. But the thing is, it's so loud that voice in your head of pain and suffering and discomfort and I don't want to do this is so loud that you're unable to really calm it down and say, okay, there's something here. It's a patient calm that you have to bring yourself to say, I know I have something here, but that voice is so powerful that it just wants you just to, let's leave. We're done. We're done. It spazzes you out and you want to go. Versus saying, let's take a second. Hang on. Before we spaz the fuck out, hang on. And in that moment, you can think clearly and find that strength out there for you. We all have these two voices. For me, my routine is every night I stretch out. And I stretch out for 2 or 3 hours every single night without fail. And while I'm stretching out, I'm thinking about my plan for the next day. And I'm thinking about all these different obstacles that may come up. So basically, a lot of us aren't prepared for life. We get up willy-nilly and just hope life is going to happen. It is going to happen, but it's going to happen with a prepared mind or an unprepared mind. Most people attack life with an unprepared mind. What I do is I try to account for all things that could happen, might happen, probably will happen, and then the unknowns. So basically, I can't account for everything, but I do know there could be some things that come up in life that you need to be ready for. I know for a fact I'm not going to work out tomorrow. Therefore, I'm preparing my mind for that. I don't want to do that. I know tomorrow there's coming some difficult decisions to make. It may come with getting a phone call saying someone died, this happened, that happened. I'm always preparing myself, not in a morbid way, but just like, look, man, be ready for life. Don't let life just start attacking you left and right. Make sure that you start to build a mental armor so then you're ready for life. And that comes with a very physical way, and the physical helps out the mental. A lot of us don't know of a whole other world that exists. It's on the other side of suffering. Once you break these barriers that you have made for yourself, like the mind is the most powerful thing in the world. It is so amazing that I used to be a 300-pound guy, and I thought that was it. Could barely read, could do anything, and now, that what was inside that person was this guy that's in front of you today. I got a taste of, wow, man, I haven't even cracked. I haven't even begun to crack what the mind is capable of. And what I start realizing is on the other end of suffering, that's the real growth of life. Because you realize how the mind processes shit. And I talk about another thing called theory and practice. A lot of people are theorists. These smart guys that read these fucking books and shit, man, they sit down and tell you what the mind is supposed to do. What? And if I ever listen to that shit, it becomes like, this is it, man. This old man who has been studying the mind forever, this is the cap that we have. By being a practitioner, I went out and realized a lot of these guys are so wrong, man. The mind has capabilities that are so unknown. I found that through suffering. And there's a whole nother world on the other end of that. I realized at a young age how to change myself with the discipline. In the military,
5 minutes to warm up.
It was something I had zero discipline, zero self-discipline. And I realized I have to start developing this. And I started really because I was horrible at reading and I was horrible at writing. I have so many learning disabilities, not even funny. So I just sit down at the table and spend so much time.
It's 5 minutes right there.
In this, reading and writing and learning. And that kind of translated over to my self-discipline with working out.
So that was a 5-minute warm-up. We're done with that.
I'm about 16 years old.
We're gonna catch our breath.
I'm in 4th grade.
We're getting to the workout.
You know, let me go ahead now and start really focusing because I'm not gonna get in the
We're gonna start off our first one. So we got 10 push-ups we're doing. And after the 10 push-ups,
what makes people
squats.
Is a flip in your
10
fucking
squats.
mindset.
But it's gonna be
All
one
those things that happen to
squat,
you in your life, all those bad things, all those things that you blame other people for,
jump squat.
are now yours to own.
And that's one.
You gotta figure out a way to reprogram your mind to get outside the box.
We'll need that for the habits.
A lot of people will listen to this. They'll be motivated. They'll be fired up. They'll be so fired up it's not even funny. Motivation just kindling. It starts to fire. But that kindling, once one
Start
raindrop
10,
hits that little kindling, it's burn out.
8, 7,
It has to be something that's deep down inside. So motivation is like this. If you're married and your wife is okay,
all right, 10 push-ups, 10 push-ups.
The kids are good, the dog's good, everything is good. You can find some motivation. Because why your life is happy. It's that motherfucker that wakes up in the sewer every fucking day, has nothing to fucking go home to, has nothing. Bills aren't paid, doesn't know when the fucking next meal's coming, doesn't know shit. And still says, fuck it. I am going to do what I have to do to get to where the fuck I have to go. So that's the difference between motivation and drive and obsession.
Okay, ready.
Obsession makes a person, makes other people, like so when you know somebody that's obsessed,
jump squat, 2.
Most people don't have any fucking idea what they call you.
Squat.
So they call you crazy.
Jump squat, 4.
They call you crazy because they don't understand where you're trying to go. What the fuck you're trying to do. What you're trying to be. So to the normal person, which we're all normal. We're all very normal. Once they turn that mindset to a point where they no longer want to be so-called normal,
30, 40 seconds.
Find out that motivation is not enough. It's not enough. You have to be that person who, no matter what's going on, if you're a big-time runner, you don't care what temperature is. Like a whole bunch of people I run with.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, they do every morning, every night. They look to see what the fucking temperature is going to be tomorrow. What's the temperature going to be? So am I going to run inside or run outside? A person that's obsessed and wants to just get there, they don't give a fuck what the temperature is.
All right.
They no longer care.
What about 35 seconds?
Because they know no matter what's out there. If it's snowing, if it's a dead tropical storm,
10 push-ups, 10 push-ups.
20 below, they're going to run. They don't care. So there's no need to waste the time to look. I'm just going to go. And that's how you want to get your mind. It doesn't matter what the fuck's out there. What's in front of me. Because a motivated person is going to look. Because that weather is going to fucking change their motivation.
Finish it.
Up or down.
Good job, good job.
Oh, it's 70
Going straight into the
I'm motivated.
squat, jump, squat.
Oh, it's 30 in the blizzard. Fuck that. I'm going to go inside. An obsessed person doesn't care.
3.
You get the fucking job done. When I was in hell,
explode on that hop.
I wasn't able to be in hell and be calm. Hell makes you anxious. Hell makes you want to get out of it. It's that person who has the ability to be in hell and think very calmly, very rationally about what the hell is going on.
That's right.
What's the truth? What's the reality? Why is my dad this way? Why are these kids calling me nigger? Why? You have to be able to piece people apart. Take it down, dissect it, and see what's going on. So back then, I didn't have those skills.
All right, good job.
I had no
We got 2
skills.
more rounds of that.
All I saw was a whole bunch of kids like me, but I no longer saw that. All I saw was the spray paint on my car, me being called nigger. That's all I saw.
2 rounds down, 2 more to
My
go.
lens was this big. It was very small fucking lens. But now my lens is huge. I see everybody for who they are.
You got about 15 seconds.
So that's the one thing that changed in me, was my reality.
Hey, if you guys need some
always think
motivation,
that fucked up
this
reality,
person that's
not even
talking,
true.
David Goggins,
It's
he'll light a
reality
fire
that
under
we
your
think
ass.
is true because our lives aren't what we want it to be. I realized that God wasn't going to give me a get out of jail free card. And from the time I was born into the time I was 19
You got 10
years
push-ups.
old,
You ready?
my life
go.
had these hurdles.
You can modify and do it on your knees.
Obstacle after obstacle after obstacle. And I had to figure out how to manage suffering, how to deal with it, because it'd be part of my life forever. At least that's what I thought. So in order to deal with it, I had to be able to conquer it and overcome it and deal with it and know that in this suffering there has to be some kind of growth. With every obstacle, I look at it as friction now. Without friction, there is no growth. You have to have friction in your life to grow. So I start looking at all these different things versus the woe is me mentality. Like, oh my God, look at my life's so fucked up. I come from this fucked up family. I'm being beaten, I'm being abused mentally, physically. I start looking at it as a perfect trial ground. So I just flip it upside down and say, okay, I'm suffering tremendously, mentally.
Whew.
Use this to your advantage versus your disadvantage. So that's what I did. Versus looking at it as like, oh my God, woe is me, I'm never gonna get out of here. I looked at it as, okay, hang on a second. Hang on a second.
I get out.
If I can overcome this,
You want to get out?
if I can find some power in this, some way to get through this.
All right, y'all.
That right there would be the fuel for the rest of my life.
Say no joke.
So I found great strength in suffering. Great strength
What do you do when you get tired?
through all of that,
Pull through that
to
strength.
callous my mind.
Keep going.
Over the victim's
Keep
mentality.
going. I missed 4 days of working out.
What you've gone through.
4 days.
And that right there gave me pride. I realized that
I'm not gonna give up.
You
gotta keep
turn
going.
upside down what I
Keep
did.
going.
I was able to turn upside down every negative thing in my life. Everything, and use it for power. Because on the other end of suffering is greatness. It's not over here.
All right.
So a whole bunch of us,
We got our last round.
put ourselves in this great box. And in that box, there's no suffering in it. So what we do is we shelter ourselves from greatness. So for me, for instance, I was healing cancer at one time in my life. Sprayed for cockroaches, made $1,000 a month. I was living in that box. I would sometimes look over the box and I saw hell, suffering, storms, avalanches, tornadoes. I don't want to go over there, but I knew if I could get through that shit mentally. On the other side was a 185-pound person with a Navy SEAL, went through Ranger School. Only person to do this, only person to do that, only person to do this. But that's through all of that shit. All that shit I have to go through. So you peek over the box and you go back in and say, oh, I'm okay being 300 pounds, making $1,000 a month. I'm okay over here.
Because that hurdle is suffering.
Suffering.
And when you're willing to go past suffering and see that suffering is one of the best ways you can grow and you can overcome. Because you can suffer for the long term. You can suffer slowly, or you can go through decay and then experience what's on the other side.
On the other side is when you start your journey. People think they start the journey because they're born.
It's a lot of
There's a lot of people in graves who have lived 100 years and have never started their real journey. Your real journey starts when you go outside that box and you start climbing mountains. When you get to the top of the mountain, go down the other side, you go, I'm here, and look at the fucking mountain. And it goes on. And just when you get ready to quit,
Hey, buddy.
Get down and look. And it starts to make sense to you then. It doesn't make sense to you until you get outside that fucking box. I talk to so many fucking people, and what I say is not for
Next
everybody.
moves.
So many people don't have any clue
reverse sprinter
on what
lunges.
the fuck I'm saying because they're in this box. And it's the brain.
Just alternating
The
for
mind is a very powerful thing. It has a
So
tactical
basically,
advantage over you
just
all
10
the
each
time.
leg.
It knows your fears.
Our reverse sprinter
It knows
lunges.
your insecurities. It knows where you don't want to go. So it will guide you
Got 10
away from that.
modified burpees.
And
Ready?
that's why the mind
All right.
always win until you reprogram. It'll always win until you fucking reprogram. I was just
10
an
modified
insecure,
burpees.
scared
Ready?
kid. And the only way I could find myself was to put myself through the worst thing possible.
8,
My biggest advice to get everybody in the world
7,
is, like I say, we live in an external world.
6.
Everything is you got to see it, touch it. It's external. If you can, for the rest of your life, live inside of yourself. Stop listening to everything that makes no sense. All these insecure people putting their insecurities on you, you gotta flush it out. You gotta just be whoever the hell God or whoever the hell you believe in. If you believe in nothing but yourself, I don't care what it is. You gotta take everything and throw it away. You have to believe in one thing, and that is yourself. And I'm not saying don't believe in God or what you believe in, but right now, for you to find greatness in yourself, you're not gonna find it by looking in a book or by even hearing me. I may give you the spark, but you've got to go inside yourself to find it. And that means you gotta be quiet. Go in a room, stop talking, search your soul, search your mind, search your abilities, and you'll find it. But if you're not looking for it, you won't find it. So you gotta go start your journey. And the journey starts with you finding, why the hell am I here on this planet Earth? Why am I here? And if you don't know that, you will live the rest of your life searching, always asking the question, why? Well, it was pretty crazy for me. It took a while to get to that point where enough was enough. What happened is I came home one night from work spraying for cockroaches. And long story short, I turned on the Discovery Channel. I saw some guys going through Navy SEAL training. And they're going through Hell Week and they're getting their ass just beat. You know, in and out of the water, guys ringing the bell. They're just suffering. And I was weighing like 297 pounds. And I had to make a change in my life. You know, I was at an all-time low, and I wasn't going anywhere, and I was exactly what everybody said I was going to be, which was nothing. So I had to make a change.
4.
No one was helping me out.
3.
My dad made my mom kind of irregular.
Hey, baby. Hey.
So she worked 3 jobs, went to college full time, so she was never around.
Hey, buddy.
One time, this person drew a picture of me and said, "We're going to kill you" on my Spanish notebook. And I took it to my principal. And my principal said, "They spelled Niger." That was the best advice he can give me. So long story short, what I realized was no one was here to help me.
When I'm trying to explain something to somebody and I just don't have all the words that I need, it's at the tip of your tongue.
I started shaving my head when I was 16 years old. And the feeling I had every morning, I looked in the mirror, was horrible. And I didn't want to feel like that anymore. And how I felt was a kid going nowhere, a kid that was scared. And most kids will accept that and look for help. But the best thing that happened to me, no one helped me. No one felt sorry for me. No one looked at me and said, like this day and age, they'll take you in and they'll tell everybody, stop picking on this person. Back then, they didn't care. The KKK marched in our 4th of July parades. They had to stay 100 yards back. But they marched in it. Wow. And my mom cared of me, but my dad took our soul. And she did the best she could. I had to figure out I wasn't going to be a punk kid all my life. So the way I could turn it around was to suffer. I had to build calluses in my brain the same way I built calluses on my hands. So I broke the Guinness World Records for pull-ups a long time ago, but I failed at it twice. And I did 67,000 pull-ups in trying to break this record. So to do 4,030 pull-ups, I had to do 67,000 for training for that. And so what I realized is for me to become the man I wanted to become, I saw myself as the weakest person God ever created. But I never blamed God for anything he did to me. So I wanted to change that to be the hardest man ever created. Am I that? I don't know, but you had to have a goal. And my goal when I was sitting there, not going to school, being bullied, having no self-esteem, my goal was the only person that's gonna turn this person around is me. The only way I can turn it around is put myself through the worst things possible a human being can ever endure. And that'd be the only way that I can build this brain to handle anything that comes in front of it, callousing my mind through pain and suffering.
In the end, what would your advice be to that 16-year-old kid who's staring in the mirror, does not like what he sees, but is still running from adversity?
Well, my biggest advice to him is that, first of all, he won't like what I say to him. Because I'm going to say the
working
exact
hard, you should be
opposite
sweating
of
by
what
now.
today's world is saying. So we read a bunch of books nowadays. As humans, we want to find out how to be someone else. What we don't do is we don't go inside. So literally turn yourself inside out. Read the book lessons. Like we're writing a book every day of our life, but we never read that book. So what I would challenge this young man or young woman to do is you have to look inside of yourself and see what you really want. What are you passionate about? We use these words and these little phrases of only the strong survive and all this other crap. They're all just words. I get so tired of hearing people just talking. Like right now,
guys.
Someone may think God is just talking.
Not yet.
You don't know me. So when I speak from passion. I speak from experience. I speak from suffering. I have to tell this young man or woman that the only way I believe, this is my experience in life, the only way you're ever going to get to the other side of this journey is you have got to suffer to grow. To grow, you must suffer. And some people will get it and some people won't. But they have to see what their journey is to start their journey. Several people live to be 100 years old, and they have great lives, and they have great kids. Their kids go to college and all sorts of stuff. But somewhere in their life, there was a point where they had a decision to make. They can go left or right on this path. Left was the easy route. Right was the hard route. A lot of people take the easy route. And they had a good life that way, but the better life was going to the right side. And you may have 20 years of pain and suffering to get past it, but a lot of us die never truly starting our journey. And I would tell this young person, you gotta start your journey. It may suck, but it will come out the other side when you're coasting. Every day, we're seeing who we are as people. When I was growing up, I lied for people to accept me because I didn't accept myself. So I would make up stories so that you would accept me into your world. Everything I did was for someone else to like me. It wasn't until I started reading my own book about how pathetic I was as a human being. I could blame my dad, I could blame kids at school, I could blame having health issues, ADD, my mom not being around. Great mom, but she was doing her thing. I could blame a lot of people. And that's the book I was reading. And I put it off on everybody else. It wasn't until I said, you know what, for me to fix this, I gotta read what is wrong with David Goggins. Not blame anybody. Read my book and say, okay, I'm afraid of my shadow. How can I overcome that? Go in the military, get your ass kicked, do things you hate to do, be uncomfortable every day of your life. Roger that. I'm not the smartest kid in the world. Okay. Instead of somebody saying, oh no, you're smart. No, don't say that to yourself. I said to myself, no, I'm a dumb mother. Okay, roger that. How you get smarter? Educate yourself. So the things that we run from the truth.
Next one, we got.
We're running from the truth, man. So the only way I became successful was going towards the truth. As painful and as brutal as it is, it changed me. It allowed me to become, in my own right, who I ended up. So hopefully, I can help people that believe that they're much less than what they truly are. Help them find greatness in themselves. And greatness isn't running 200 miles at a time or doing 4,000 pull-ups or being a SEAL. Greatness is whatever the hell you dreamed of in your own mind. You gotta first see it. You gotta first create this vision in your mind. And then that's when I come into play. Once you create this vision in your mind, it's how am I going to get there?
Then we got the bands.
And that's when I come into play. But first, you got to create your own vision. And it's not external. It's the vision created is inside of you. So until you create that, I'm nobody to you. I'm slowly writing a book right now. It's taking me 4 or 5 years because I have so many things to talk about. It's going to be probably several books. But the first book is probably about my life story, how I came up, and a few lessons learned along the way.
Put it in the cart.
But, you know, I have so much to talk about, so much to say, just to give people a lot more than hope.
20.
So.
Whoa! I'm okay.
You may have been confused by the term tax automation.
And whatever else you believe in, I don't care what you believe in, but on earth, it's a very lonely journey. And it starts with the accountability mirror, looking at saying, hey, my dad who beat the hell out of me is not coming back. All these things are coming back. I have to face myself. And you have to own all those things that people may have done to you. Now it's yours. You got to own it. And it's yours now to fix the problems that people did to you. That makes no sense. It's not fair. I get it. But if you live in that woe is me mentality of guess what? My dad did this to me. My mom did this to me. People who bullied did this to me. You're gonna always live right there. You have to figure out ways to move forward because you're not coming back. You don't want to break open that callus, that scar in your mind. You don't want to break, you have to break it open, let that blood flow. You have to let blood flow in your brain. You have to let all that stuff flow out. All that toxic stuff that you have trapped in there has to start flowing out now. So you are doing this to yourself. Yes, people may have helped you get there, but it's now on you. Painful truth, like all those people in high school and everything else, they don't know how you're gonna end up. So you gotta make sure that you constantly are rewriting your book. You have to constantly rewrite your book every day of your life. And these aren't just words I say, this is how I have to live. Like, these are conversations I have with myself. And I say it everywhere I go, the most important conversation when you have with yourself. Yes. You live with it every single day. But most of our conversations are not the right ones. They're not the ones that are gonna push us to the place we need to go. They're the ones that are gonna keep us sitting in that toxic environment that you've helped create and everybody else helped create, and you just live in it. You live in that muck, and that conversation just plays in your head. That becomes you. So my first conversation when I was absolutely nobody, and that's one thing you have to say. We live in a world now that's so kind. We find the kind way around everything. Like, if you don't look good, I have to find a kind way of saying, I don't like your shirt. Right. That's not the approach. If that's the approach you're looking for, that book is not for you. Can't hurt me is not for you. The approach you have to take, at least I took, you take whatever approach you want. The conversation had to be a real, honest conversation. In the accountability mirror, guess what? I was fat. Don't find a kind word to say that, you know what, I've gained some weight. No, you're fat. When I couldn't read, not like, hey, even learning disability. No, I cannot read. The 4th grade reading level, I'm struggling. And sometimes I call myself stupid. Not in a way to put myself down. So don't take it like, my God, those are so hurtful. Yeah, they're hurtful. It's honest. The conversation has to become an honest conversation of where you're at mentally. Where am I at mentally? I look like shit. I feel like shit. I'm falling behind in school. I'm lazy. My house is a mess.
Almost done.
You have to look at what it is and call it what it is. Don't find words to make yourself feel better, because that's what, so we hang around people that make us feel better, that tell us what we want to hear, not what we need to hear. And so we stay away from those people. And we stay away from those people, like our internal dialogue becomes that kind, it's okay. It's not okay. So that's where it starts. It starts with that accountability of, it's not okay anymore. This can no longer be okay. And calling yourself out for exactly what you are and exactly how you need to fix it. Nothing gets solved by that, man. Nothing. And if you look at America right now, and I won't get off on this, nothing is getting solved because there's so much racism. There's so many things, and that's just one of them. We can't talk about anything. We are skirting all these conversations because if I say this, I'm going to offend a black person or a white person or a Jewish person or a gay or lesbian person. We skirt around the daggone problem. So we can't fix shit. Everything is like, well, if I say this on TV, I'm going to lose my damn job. We have to say it. We have to break the barriers within our minds, within the world. It starts with yourself. It starts with yourself. You got to break the barriers down within yourself and just go there. You got to go to yourself. So I talk about the repetition in my book a lot. Yeah. Got to get the reps in. So now my conversation is this. I never set out to write a book. When I was in the dungeon and no one was coming back to help me, I just wanted that reflection in that accountability mirror that I hated so badly to be something that gave me pride. To be something that made me feel. It's not about money. It's not about success. It's not about people. Oh my God, that's David Goggins. Sign my book. No. When I started this journey out years ago, it's about, I just want to learn to read. So now I'm at a place now where I see the possibilities of human potential. What are we capable of is the conversation now. The conversation now is how can I now talk to people in a way they can understand the message that I have for so many people. For so many people. So that's the new conversation now, is that you are constantly evolving. You're never staying, either you're getting better or you're getting worse, you're not staying the same. So for me, I have to constantly be getting better. I have to constantly be evolving my message. So I'm constantly thinking in the quietness of my mind. That's a key point too. The world is so fast-paced. The world is so noisy. So my conversation now a lot of times is, my God, slow down. The world can take you here, be there, be everywhere, and I lose myself sometimes. So I catch myself in the airport, I catch myself in the plane while I'm writing stuff down. Okay, remember this, remember that. And I go, hey, hang on a second. What got you here? This isn't what got you here. Slow the fuck down. Go back to the quiet place of that dirty mirror in that $7 a month place you used to live in.
Almost there.
That's where you grew. So that's what I'm constantly reminding myself to go back to your roots.
Let's go.
I'm not saying go back to hell. I'm saying don't forget where you come from. As you start to explode out of the gate when you become someone, my conversation is, do not forget your roots. Do not forget your roots. Don't let this become so big that you lose yourself amongst the noise. Go back to the quietness of what made you successful. That's the conversation now. It's a constant reminder of that. And that's why when I walked in here, the first thing I do is I want to know the person. Because there's so many people right now doing exactly what we're doing. What turns me off so badly, I see so many people out there trying to motivate people, inspire people, help people find what's going to drive you. I see all this shit. It's all fucking a bunch of shit. And I walk in, I see it everywhere. Everybody's got this going. Everybody's got a new podcast, this about, I want to help you find yourself. They're not living. Honestly, what's funny about this is people may hear all this and say, God, this guy's such a structured guy, talking about demons, getting over things. That's not like his whole life. It's true, but I'm the most
Oh yeah. We're about 35 minutes in.
Not done yet, Mommy.
Almost done. Whew. 35 minutes in.
My name is Austin Holbert.
Keep going. Just keep squirting. Just keep burning.
Downsize and get rid of
Remember, it's early, so I did this on an empty stomach. Only thing I had this morning was some lemon water, a little bit of coffee, and I'll probably end up
brain is the most
having a green drink afterwards.
The world. Once you put away your phones and your computers and all that we have nowadays, yeah, it's great. We're up to date. But your brain is the only thing you have when you're going through depression, when you're going through hard times, when you're going through death. Real life, you can't Google that, man. You're alone. You're alone. You may have a shrink you're going to, you may have a best friend you're going to, but there's 24 hours in a day where you're alone in this brain, and your brain is talking to you in all kind of ways, and it wants to control you and pull you in these different pockets. If you can't control your own brain, and your brain controls you, you got to tell your brain where you want to go and how you want to go and how you want to get there. You got to control it. If not, it's over. What existed for me was, okay, man, how am I going to make this work? And all I knew back then was hard work. The only way anything gets accomplished. That's all I heard back in those days. You gotta work hard. You gotta work hard. I'm not getting I can't get this paragraph. I can't remember what the f***'s in this paragraph to pass this test to get in the military. Read again. Still not getting it. Read again. But if you're not getting it, write it out. And that's how I started learning. Okay, well, I gotta write out everything I do. And then write it out again, and write it out again. And guess what happened? I got it. I got it. I can't swim. I'm negative buoyant. Go back again. I can't swim. Go back again. Go back again. Go back again. I got it. I realized if I keep going back and going back and going back until this just becomes, your mind will say, okay, We're gonna figure it out because he is not going to stop. It's not like I'm gonna try one more time. No, it's just like alarm clock goes off, boop,
Crunches. Let's go.
we're going back. I can't read right, we're going back. I gave myself no way out, and my mind realized that. It's okay, we're gonna adapt and overcome now. Like a lot of people say, trying hard. Your mind knows, man. It knows this guy's bullshit, man. This guy's lying. There's no truth behind it. When I was in Navy SEAL training, people go, how were you there for 18 months? The program was only 6 months long. You were in 3 hell weeks in 1 year. No one's ever done that. How did you do that? I talk about the new norm. When I lived in a $7 a month place when I was growing up for a short period of time, I loved it. I didn't know any different. That was my norm. Once we moved out of that place, we moved to a $236 a month place. I was like, I never want to go back to that little piece of shit. But if you go back to that $7 a month place and you realize this is where I live, this is all I got. Your mind says, roger that, this is home. So when I was going through Navy SEAL training for 18 months and going back through all the hard parts over and over again, I told myself after the first time, I knew it was gonna be a long journey there. My body was breaking down. It was just how it was going on. I said, you know what, this is my new norm. So my mind said, it's like going to work. Like you go to work and put your suit and tie on, I go into suffering every day. Every day, suffering, being broken, duct taping my feet up, stress fractures, shin splints, being broken. This is my new norm. And your mind says, if we're not
That's
broken,
a wrap.
this ain't normal. We gotta be broken. So then your mind starts to get tougher.
All right, guys.
And tougher and more callous. People, how did you run on broken feet?
38 minutes in.
Broken shins. My mind knew this is how we operate.
Just tuning in.
We're Navy SEAL training.
Rewind it.
This is what we are. I became
Start from the
hell.
beginning, because you late.
And that became
You
my new
late.
norm.
So
I
you
gave
gotta start
myself
over.
no way out.
Anyways, you
There
guys,
was nothing outside
you
these
catch us
walls
every
of hell.
Saturday, 8 o'clock
Nothing.
a.m.
I love
Cuts and
God,
curves at the
but
beach.
for a short period of time,
Let's
I
keep
became
shedding this
the
weight,
devil,
y'all. Let's
'cause
get
that
it.
was hell.
Leave a comment. Let me know you were
I
here. Let me know you did this
became the
workout.
boss,
Let me know
the
you
owner, the
sweated.
CEO
Let's
of
go.
Navy SEAL training. That was my mindset.